We are now just less than 5 months away from the official release of Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker by writer and director J.J. Abrams and even creator George Lucas, that is all set and ready to end the sequel trilogy and the Skywalker saga itself. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, what's really exciting about Episode 9 is that we do know that this film is going to answer a lot of the burning questions from The Force Awakens, as well as creating new questions at the very beginning of this story that will be answered at the very end of this movie by, of course, Abrams, Chris Terrio, and George Lucas, and how everything will be utilized and organized in this film. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this movie, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions and one of the plans by Disney and crew, this is where things begin to get very exciting between both Palpatine, Snoke, Rey, and Kylo Ren. Now, specifically, what's really intriguing about all of this is that a description of both Rey and Kylo Ren holding hands while they are said to be walking through an environment that is in total darkness, where it's said that Kylo is using the ability of flow walking that Disney cherry-picked in the expanded universe, where Kylo and Rey witness secret moments of the past. While Kylo holds Rey's hand, it's said that he holds the holocron of Darth Sidious in his other hand, where one of the visions of the past that Rey and Kylo see is Snoke confronting a red abstract cloud that is said to attack Snoke and swirl around him, where Snoke uses Force lightning for a split second, where the Palpatine laughter can be heard in the distance. It's said that Rey and Kylo don't know who it is or who it was, but it was the Sith spirit of Sidious himself. Additionally, it's said that within Snoke's abandoned headquarters in the film, he owns every important object that once belonged to Darth Sidious and even Darth Plagueis. It's described that George Lucas wrote in a complex connection between both Snoke and Palpatine that will serve as a massive revelation in the third act of the film that will drastically change how fans view the past two movies and the two characters of Palpatine and Snoke. So let's go over a couple of parts about this. Now, these by far are the biggest hints and or indicators that Snoke was Palpatine all along in The Force Awakens and in The Last Jedi. So, of course, there are the more obvious points to really list here, is that if you guys go ahead and check out The Last Jedi, Snoke says similar dialogue to Palpatine, we hear certain similar pieces of music during Snoke's scenes, and I gotta say, I'm very excited to see what JJ has in store. But this by far is the biggest hint of these two characters having a connection like that, where the spirit of Sidious is actually going to take over the body of Snoke as a trial run, if you will, after his clone failed. Now, what's really intriguing about this is that this is said to be the ability of flow walking that Kylo Ren is using, where he invites Rey through the Force Bond sequence to experience secret moments of the past. Now, this was used in the EU by Jason Solo to better learn elements of the past and how he could use that to really use himself as a better Force user for the future. And what's really intriguing about this is that we have a moment in which both Rey and Kylo Ren witness Supreme Leader Snoke in the form of a vision of the past going up against a red abstract cloud. Basically a shapeless red cloud that is actually said to be the Sith spirit of Palpatine, attacking Snoke, where Snoke uses Force lightning for a split second before the overall vision vanishes and disappears in front of both Rey and Kylo. Now, that right then and there is a big hint that the Sith spirit of Sidious was infiltrating the body of Supreme Leader Snoke, and Snoke was trying to resist that. Very possible, because it does make one wonder, right? How did Snoke ever rise to power? Exactly how did that really happen, right? Now, we do know that Snoke was also watching over Kylo Ren ever since he was within Leia's womb. And what we also learned for the upcoming film, The Rise of Skywalker, is that Palpatine was watching over Kylo Ren ever since he was born. So you can see the similarities there. The other thing is that during the rewrites of the film for November and December is that George Lucas wrote in a complex connection between both Snoke and Palpatine that will serve as a massive revelation at the very end of this movie, and it's going to change how we view the characters of Palpatine and Snoke in Star Wars as a whole. So that really does speak volumes now, doesn't it? It really is a major hint and or indicator that Snoke was Palpatine all along, or vice versa. Now, a lot of you guys out there may disagree with that. I think that a lot of fans have mixed reactions on the whole spirit taking over another body type of thing, or a host, if you will, that will be a part in Episode 9. So, me personally, I think it's a great idea. I think it's probably one of the best revelations that would be made in the Star Wars sequel trilogy that would really change how we view, The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, and how Snoke knows so much, and how he knows so much about politics, right? That's another thing, is that he knows a lot about politics, and so would, Palpatine was the Chancellor. You can really see all these similarities here. So, the last thing that I do want to go over is that George really was significantly involved in developing Snoke and Palpatine and their complex connection during those months of late last year that were actually said to be vital scenes for Episode 9. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon we hear them moans again.